Everything here is immediately followed by sarcastic comments and nasty responses.
Yep, we're finally where we belong.
Don't think we don't know how to weed them out.
Put a chick in it, make her gay. Put a chick in it, make her name it gay.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But
That's all, brother. I had it.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
Very good. Well, if you can't get out of it, get into it.
Welcome to Inside the Badger Den with the Angry Badger and Mr.TechRat. Welcome to Inside the Badger Den with the life model decoy that I am currently using on loan from Nerd Rage. Don't tell him. We are here with the 8th episode and a special guest star. What more could you ask for? Of course, I am the Angry Badger, as I say. Mr.TechRat, say hello to everyone.
Hi, and to answer your question, what more could you ask for? Maybe I could have not jinxed us, and we could have hit 800 by the end of this stream tonight.
You trying to double jinx us? Pretend.
Yeah,
pretend
I'm
maybe
doubling
we will.
down. I'm doubling down.
It's Schrodinger's subscriber base right now. We do and we do not have 800 subscribers as long as we do not check, but we were very close last we did, and we are grateful for that. Speaking of what we are grateful for, the great Deadpoolio is with us. And if you don't know who that is, well, you are about to find out. He is known in many circles. I don't know any of those circles, but they're there. And here he is. Great Deadpoolio. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
No, pretty good. Thank you for inviting me for this luxurious 8th episode, which you fellas.
Well, of course, it's almost the penultimate, but you know what? That's all right. You'll get us there over the hump. And we, of course, the great Deadpoolio is known for many podcast appearances back in the day, so we will benefit from his professional observations and witty sense of humor, I'm sure.
You didn't air quote professional.
I said it with my voice, I felt, but that's all right. That's all right.
I used to be a professional at one point in my life.
I used to be. You know what else used to be? Michael Keaton used to be Beetlejuice, and for some reason, we're getting a sequel.
Are we?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's on screen. You can see that, but that's a nice set. It's good. You pretend you can't see the cards. Yeah, we're getting a sequel. Here it is, right there. It's called Beetlejuice. So nice they're naming it twice. Yeah. Is it?
Well, but the thing is they're going to do what they do with everything else, right? It's going to be riding on the coattails of a name.
But it's got Michael Keaton back, which means he'll probably be ruined as a legacy character. But it's got Jenna Ortega, and she's based.
Yeah, she's going to carry it.
She's going to play Winona Ryder's daughter, who's I think is also in it. And Michael Keaton. They're just the only one I don't know if it's going to be in it is Alec Baldwin, which personally, cowards, put him in. He's not convicted yet, right? I mean, he's undead, but get Gina Davis back too.
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be guns on
the whole
set.
game together.
Get the whole game. Yeah. You better be bobbing and weaving because as we know about Alec Baldwin, he don't miss. His finger certainly doesn't. I think
no
I could
blanks.
do without.
No.
I hope not. I know he certainly doesn't shoot blanks in any because he's got a kid. I was gonna make a kid joke on blanks, but then I realized he really doesn't shoot blanks at all. He's a dead shot every time he does it.
I love you, Laria.
Speaking of things that I love, depending on how they mess this up, I might be hoping there's an accident. Harry Potter on Max has narrowed its showrunners down to 3, and of course they're all women, I think. But have you seen Succession? Because I hear it's really good. I haven't seen it.
No,
I heard it's good, but I haven't seen it either.
I don't think it's my cup of tea.
But they say that, and then it's apparently good. But even if you don't like that sort of stuff, yeah. Well, the thing that everyone likes, she was a writer on it. Now she's possibly going to be one of the showrunners for Max. They're all doing pitches, even though I don't. What? Okay, you have control of Harry Potter. You go to Max. What's your pitch for a show? TechRat.
I mean, they're older. I want to see the older version of the kids. Don't give me something new. Give me new old shit.
So you don't want to see each season of a book. You want to see afterwards.
Either a continuation or okay, they're kids getting into some stuff, but keep it the same
So you want the stage play, basically, because that's what the stage play is.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Deadpool, Leo,
Yeah,
Deadpoolio for copyright reasons.
Just, you know, to be frank, to be honest, like
you could be anyone who want, as long as it's
okay.
not Deadpool, because I think that is owned. But you could be Deadpoolio or Frank or Bob or Locker or Zipper, or filing cabinet. I think those are fair use.
Tippy tap.
hi, Bob.
All right, no, I say to you, give me a Harry Potter show on Max. What are you doing?
You know what? I will actually like feed into the fans of the books.
The toxic
Like,
fans? Oh, the fans of the books.
Toxic,
Okay.
yeah, the fans of the books. I was like, hey, let's
50-50 on whether what I just said was true. Yeah.
But yeah, give it to them. Why not? Or go with the last book. From my understanding, was a screenplay, a screenwrite, whatever it was. So, or give them that.
Okay. The correct answer is all of them. I want an entire season of book. Each book is a season of the do it right. Don't cut anything out like they did in the movies. And I want, based like on a true detective thing, I want Harry and Ron as auras in the Ministry, unraveling dark and sinister things, Harry. And while the kids thing, I gotta talk to JK, because I think we need to do some heavy re-rates on that stage play. But that's until we get 10 million subscribers and a bunch of clout we don't have.
One day.
You were both right. Just different times, which is
fair enough.
Generally the case. Moving on. Okay, so no one cares about Beetlejuice, and no one really cared about that Harry Potter, because I think they're waiting. But you know what people really cared about? And when I say people don't care, it was like 12 views on one. It was 34. You know what had 2.5 thousand views?
What?
Is Senior Shane Gillis being fired from Saturday Night Live years ago to now be rehired. And I swear to God, I tried so hard to find a source for this that didn't have an already narrative skewed title. This was the best one I could find.
Best.
This was the best one I could find. Shane Gillis was fired from Saturday Night Live for racist jokes. No. Shane Gillis was fired for jokes.
For telling jokes.
Yeah.
That you found racist.
You know, I guess they thought he was being incentive. And you can't do it. It upsets people when you're incentive.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just gonna hail if they got it, they understood. They understood, bro.
Bro.
I mean, if you don't know about the Bro 99, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
It was
being incentive,
bro.
If you're
seriously, started technically, if you started the bro thing,
regardless of your political affiliations, if you are not watching Jeremy on CobraCast, you are missing a hell of a good time. You want to talk about unity? Start making bro memes. You will be united. Good time. Shout out. All right. So Shane was fired years ago for making jokes. He was in the height of cancel culture. This is along when Roseanne was being fired, and everyone, the LeVar Burtons, of course, call it consequence culture, but cancel culture was a thing. And now the great correction is happening. Now we're happening. Now people they're not taking it anymore. Got to get I'm mad as hell. I want you to go outside. Anyway, that'll be for the next clip. But what do you think about this? The great correction that now all of a sudden, Bud Light's not giving their money to any crannies. They're giving it to the UFC and Shane.
I mean, it is a correction, like you said. They realized the oopsie and they gave it. They found out how much they could lose, much like Disney is.
Are you saying they effed around and they found out?
Yeah.
Well, as we all know, the proportion of finding out is directly related to the amount of effing around, and there was a high amount of effing around for sure. Deadpoolio, what do you think about Shane Gillis? Is this the win for that? God, the other one described him as a right-wing comedian, which he's certainly not if you actually listen to him. You think it's a victory?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a victory. The SNL's ratings has been like in a hole for how many years now?
Decades,
and
easily.
For a hot minute. And Shane Gillis, like, dude, I think I've already seen like maybe 10 clips of his stand-ups on just Instagram alone. You know?
Good. Well, so if the algorithm is now in love with him, then all the more. Yeah. Yes. And people, if they're turning into my under sub 1,000 channel and getting, almost 3,000 views on a clip, clearly there is some interest. So there will be people watching. And you know what won't have people? Well, it depends on how they do it, when they do it. But y'all ready for that Miles Morales movie that may or may not, and probably not, star Donald Glover because he's too old.
I don't care.
You know, but he's Latin. I've heard that you were Latin at some point. At least you might identify. Don't you like this representation they're giving you? It's for you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Donald Glover's a black man.
Yeah, but the representation is half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he's a Latinx.
He's a Latinx. No. Yeah, how dare you?
They can keep
that is a slur. That's like cis. Cis and Latinx are slurs as far as I'm concerned.
All three of us are Hispanic, and neither one of us. You think one? You think 1 out of 3, right, would say Latinx is okay if you? Nope.
2 of us are the exact. We're actual Puerto Ricans. Miles is supposed to be half Puerto Rican. I don't want it. Peter Parker's my Spider-Man.
It's because you're not also black.
You know, they're real iffy on which side counts more than the other side, depending on who's saying it. Just saying. So Donald Glover basically came out that he thinks they will make a Miles Morales, and they will. He said something like when they're done with Tom Holland, my bro. I was gonna say my dude, but my bro. They're going to do that immediately. The first chance they can get rid of Tom Holland, who's already going to play fucking Romeo.
Yeah. Well, here, when they first pitched the idea for him to be Miles Morales back then, I don't know how many years ago. Yeah, I mean, I would have been
the inspiration for the character.
Yeah. I would have been all for it.
Yeah,
but
he was 10 years younger.
Yeah, but now I am, as a comic book fan, everything. I am done with Marvel movies. I am.
Oh, I think we all are. I think.
But see, that would be a Sony movie.
Are you saying that you have superhero fatigue, or do you have bad movie fatigue for Marvel?
Bad movie fatigue. To be
right.
honest.
So if there was something dope that you had a little bit of faith in, you would go watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch my own movie.
I see.
Well, you notice on the top of that though, it didn't say it was going to be a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, they never do that because, as we all know, Miles Morales,
is Miles
Morales.
Yeah.
My whole issue with Miles Morales is that, aside from the aforementioned, they only see legitimacy in white character thing. If you just remove that, why do you need to call him Spider-Man? He's enough of his own character that he can just give him his own name. It's just weird. But
they would say the same thing about any of the Elseworlds, any multiverse. The character is still named the same thing across the board. Okay, well then why say Miles Morales so much?
Because you got to have Morales in it. You got to know.
I don't know, but when he first came out, wasn't he just always just was known as just Spider-Man, and then later on, it's
because he was introduced in the Ultimate when that version of Peter Parker was dead.
Yeah,
right. But it wasn't enough because then you go, well, that's what they want, right? He replaced Peter. Yeah. But he replaced Peter Parker because Peter was dead, and it doesn't count. He's not in the real. He's in the Ultimate, and so then they had to supplant it. It's the same reason Sam Jackson's Nick Fury became so prominent. It wasn't enough that he was black in the Ultimate universe. You didn't see David Hasselhoff, although maybe we will in your movie coming out. You didn't see David Hasselhoff show up as Nick Fury. You saw Sam Jackson. We all love Sam Jackson, so we didn't say it's the first and biggest race swap that no one questioned because it was Sam Jackson. And we were just so happy that we were getting an Avengers cameo. And if only we had known. If only we had known what
Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic. You know what? We had it. We couldn't find a way to extend it. And by the time we played the clip, it sounded like he was just saying "Mad Magic." But we'll get it. Speaking of, we'll take the Black.
I'm working on myself. Okay.
Off of it. You know what? We tried a lot of versions, but
but they were all bad.
So we'll get that fixed. What is a good one? Look, there's been a lot of shite that we've been watching and talking about, and so sometimes the Rat and myself, and then by proxy, this Deadpoolio over here, we go back to movies of old, fan films, and of course the Iron Age is now, right? It's all fans making the best stuff right now, but we've been making the best stuff for a while. So we're going to go back, and I hope if you watch this, if you're just listening, I apologize, but just listen. It'll sound like an audio drama from the 40s. But if you're watching, if you've never seen this, this is by Sandy Cholera, about 15 plus years ago. But he made this trying to get a Batman movie. I think he spent like $30,000, but this went viral AF back in the day, and
I remember.
You will love it. It is the best depiction of a live action Batman we've ever gotten, including White Eye Batman. This is how you should do it. Let's go, Batman Dead End.
Gotham City, criminal mastermind the Joker has once again escaped from Arkham Asylum.
This is Shannon Carr reporting from Arkham Asylum, where the scene can only be described as grim. 2 guards brutally beaten, and criminal mastermind the Joker has escaped from his maximum security holding cell. At this time, Dr. Harley Quinn is still missing. Police Chief James Gordon.
Apparently, he did that tightening of the gloves on his own. Bro. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so we can Mystery Science Theater it. I mean, tell me that's not like the best comic book Batman look.
Dude, bro, just give me like flashbacks when I first watched it back then. It's so good.
And rest in peace. This guy has passed on. Koenig, I believe is his name. Man. The guy that played Joker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, and Batman is played by Clark Bartram. He is still alive.
From someone who runs around in the dark, wearing a cape and a mask.
Both wear masks.
I got all that leather sound really good.
I love it. Like I said, when he does like this with the gloves.
My mask.
Look at that. That is Alex Ross Batman.
That's so good, dude.
Made your choice a long time ago, Joker.
No! You did this to me!
And of course, those white eyes.
That asylum like some bastard child that you refuse to take responsibility for! That's why you'll never kill me, Bats.
You
made me. Daddy!
This Joker seems like he has a lot of insecurities.
Like you.
Just a little bit. To the beginning.
That video on Instagram, the short, has 153,000 views.
You're going back to Arkham.
The joke, of course, when I said that he didn't have insecurities, I meant normal, like, worries. Didn't say he didn't have a psychosis with Batman.
If anybody listening to this came from Instagram and you're actually still here, God bless you, number one.
Thanks.
Number two, the people shouting, read a comic book. Has this guy ever read a comic book? I really hope you can see them all in the back. They're almost all read, I'm sure.
Yeah. Although the ones I don't have, which I've been meaning to get, is the Batman and Batman. Yeah, Batman and Predator and Batman and Alien crossovers.
There you go.
I think Chuck Dixon has one.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good. If you had a chance to read them, dude.
And I realized I need to get the Batman Spawn again since I gave mine away to a couple people.
Was it a they-them situation?
Yeah, it was a you and that one. But you must pass it on to read. I love how he immediately goes for the leg. Which, by the way, Roadhouse, you're the biggest guy. You go for his leg, he'll drop like a...
Easy there, mijo.
I'm telling you, they're gonna mess it up.
It's not the leg, it's the knee. You go for
push kick. Where's the knee located?
You know what?
Uh-huh.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. Remember, got bit by a radioactive Sharpei that looks like Ryan Reynolds. All right.
Aww.
You do like a topographical map of
Oh man, this is so good.
Face looks like an avocado, fucked an older, uglier avocado.
Avocado.
And of course, the line about haunting. Did you hear there's I mean, this is off topic, but did you hear there's DLC coming out for Hogwarts Legacy?
We're watching Batman fight
I don't care.
No, I say we're watching Batman fight a Predator. Yeah. How off topic could it be to bring up Harry Potter?
To bring up Harry Potter?
No, what you said DLC for Legacy?
Yeah.
Is this the fucking timed DLC exclusive of the broom shop that we were going to get access to?
So apparently it's already available if you're on PlayStation, but PC, Xbox, and Switch are getting it this coming up month. Well, February.
Good, because I've heard that's like the best quest, and it was I've paused it because I've always wondered is what the fuck is Batman blocking with? It's just his fist.
The knife looks like him, but I feel like he's holding. Yeah, I think you're right.
I've watched it a lot, but you this is bad. You tell me if and good. I'm glad that DLC. I want to play that damn thing. Yeah, it looks like he just goes like this, and I don't. Maybe you could say his glove was armored, but then far be it from me to nitpick this glorious film. I just was always curious.
Yeah.
Badgers are known for their key eyesight, and that one.
Yeah, he totally would have fucked himself on the fingers there when he twisted.
I also sort of questioned that he just turned it and snapped the Predator blade that was probably made from super space metal. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it was just made from regular iron. This is what happened at the end of that Halo thing we were watching, where all the elites were just like, "You're cool, bro. We saw it." See, that's right out of a comic. He did the spit.
Come on, Batman.
Oh, do you remember Good Things? I remember Good Things. Sandy Collar, man. There's a whole documentary made about that movie, by the way. You should watch it. I should probably link to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, his ego got in the way. That's the only reason he didn't really make it. Not just the movie, but just in general. Yeah, well, it's a good lesson in life. Stay humble, people. Speaking of not making it, I know Rat kept telling me about Lady Frankenstein, something Frankenstein, that we deciphered the fact that you were talking about Lisa Frankenstein.
I'm a bit retarded.
You know,
I was confusing. Yeah, I didn't know this was coming out until I saw your video.
I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah, no, I'll watch this. Cast alone.
I would say it was the cast alone. So here we have, of course, Maggie Gyllenhaal is making a Dr. Frankenstein movie, and what caught me was the original title said it was, it's going to be social change. And I was like, oh, fucking here we go. But then you read it, and it's like, it's going to be in the 1930s. So probably due for a little bit of social change. And then there you go. Christian Bale is going to be Frankenstein. So you sort of had me with Christian Bale.
I'm sold.
Yeah, and then one of the Skarsgårds is going to be in it. It just had a bunch of names: Penelope Cruz, Annette Bening, although she's a little batshit some days. But
it's a cast, man. They're all good.
It's a cast. She's going to be perfect. Well, look at that. It's her as Marvel. Who was a man. They changed the character just a little bit. I hear that thing from Gary that he plays all the time from Emergency Awesome.
And what I did you watch the movie I was confusing this with? The trailer for Lisa?
The trailer for you know what? Let's
no.
Has Mikey seen it?
Mike, do you care about Lisa Swallows, a teenage misfit longing to be with a dead occupant from the Victorian era of her favorite grave? This girl, 1989, she falls in love with this fucking dead body, and she wants to bring him back to life.
1 month ago.
So we're promoting necrophilia now.
1 month ago. Yeah. So I don't know why.
Swallows.
It's only got
just came out today.
Hold on. It's only got 15,000 likes.
That's only.
The only name in the cast I know is Cole Sprouse.
Just not sure why everyone's making Frankenstein shit all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'll put this up. All right. Of course, we're all stupid, so we need a trailer before the trailer.
Hot burning. Lisa! Does he have more of a basketball bod or a football bod?
He doesn't play sports. I tend to his grave. I talk to him.
I wish I was with you. That's really weird, Lisa.
You hear that? I'm sure it's the girl next door. She's very odd.
Because the nosy neighbors wouldn't pay attention.
I can't believe you're here.
I'll only
Do you
watch
like
this for the
music? Have
soundtrack.
the cure. Oh, not that kind of cure.
Definitely gonna be an
They
80s
can't
movie,
make you
so, I
better.
mean-
I mean, they can, but like emotionally. No, don't cry. Your tears.
I mean,
smell
shout
so
out to the
bad.
girl out there who will be with a dead man.
Send it back. You need a friend. No.
Another song though.
It's not really my style.
Shut up, Lisa.
When you're
out.
Lisa
Awesome.
looks good.
She could probably even do pageants if she had congeniality. Your daughter is a little psycho. I opened my glorious home to an ungrateful little. I want to help you, but Taffy says it's a waste of time to try and fix a wife. It's better just accept a guy's flaws.
That's correct, actually.
I have an idea. There are bad people out there. Come on, Lisa.
You'll feel good.
That hand is going to do terrible things.
You are being admitted.
Inpatient.
Lockdown.
I could get the clink for life or the electric chair, but I don't want to die a virgin.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God is a virgin.
You know anything about the disappearance of a student? I'm not making any more comments. You can talk to my lawyer. Really hope this goth phase ends soon.
No.
You know
Now
what?
I'm confused. Were you concerned about this? Or you just didn't, you heard, you did, now you feel dumb, right? Because is this about a chick that essentially starts murdering people to rebuild her boyfriend so she can get laid?
The perfect boy, yeah.
And she said the thing about don't change a guy, just accept. Sort of based. What are we talking about here? I
know,
would go-
dude.
Yeah.
Right now, I know.
I think I'd go see that.
I'll go. I'll watch it.
I think.
Plus, like, especially with the popularity of goth mamas as well. So, kind of makes sense.
So you're
I
saying
do like me some goth mamas.
We go get some tacos and then we go watch this shitty movie.
Well, chimichangas, I believe, is what the Great Ted Pulio would be associated with. But
yes, fair enough. Yes,
you know what would make tacos like? Now I want tacos.
What kind of tacos, though?
I don't know, but you know who does also want tacos? So,
chick he saves? Is it because she's Hispanic?
I have reviewed, and we will get to that at the end, but I'll tell you right now, there's only 15 minutes of the entire Halo series of episode 1 that is good in the second season. Now, I bring this up because the next video was, of course, me talking about the first reviews of whatever horrible website talked about, and is it safe? Got almost 3,000 views. So people are feeling something, to say the least, about this. So I'm going to save everyone the time, since I'm certainly not going to do this in the actual review. If you're still with us, we're going to watch the only, I did say it was going to be a video heavy episode. This is the only good scene, essentially, in the first episode of, and of course, he keeps his helmet on the entire time. But,
what? Wait,
what?
Keeps his helmet on?
Yeah, he does. He does. I did not misspeak. At least for this, he keeps the helmet on. And then, of course, he immediately takes it off and goes into the shower naked, walks around naked, you know. Yeah. Remember in Road Trip when Tom Green is telling the story and then they stop him? The girls should just walk around naked. He goes, hey, it's my fantasy. Okay, well, it's that.
I'm telling the story.
Yeah, it's that, but Master Chief. Spartans just walk around naked and in their underwear, and they talk to each other naked in their
Some
underwear.
girls' awkward fan fiction.
I guess they were going for a Starship Troopers, but I digress. Let's watch the good, and then we will absolutely destroy them for the bad. The Predator 2 thing, but when it keeps going, it pans up, and you realize that
they show
Maki,
his bang toy.
Maki, the human female member of the Covenant that no human should exist, is the Covenant.
Yeah, that would never happen.
They think we're demons, or they think we're
he had
certainly
sex
the Spartans are demons. Oh, that he had sex with when she was arrested in lockup. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He just walked into the cell and had sex with a prisoner of war. That was cool. was fun. It was definitely something that the UNSC would allow. It doesn't violate. Hey, Depulio, when you were active service, could you go into the brig? And I don't mean
Don't answer
Guantanamo,
that.
but could you just go into the brig and then put your wang wang into anyone you wanted?
He can't answer that.
Yeah.
No.
You can and will answer that. No,
I did.
It's,
you can't do that. That's fucking
ridiculous.
Ah!
It's against multiple protocols. I know.
Yeah.
I know. And you know what should be against multiple protocols is comparing a children's show like Avatar and saying that you're going to advertise it and aim at Game of Thrones fans. Isn't that nice? Remember, we can't show Sokka sexism, but we sure as hell show a little bit of genocide and some Game of Thrones, because of course Game of Thrones is known for children. It's not like it's known for violence and incest and all those other fun things.
You just reading that title alone, you know what it reminds me of? When in video games, when they'll say, "Oh, this is the skateboard, the Dark Souls of skateboarding. Oh, this is the Dark Souls of FPS shooters." I'm like, dude, really? Why everything needs to be compared to Dark Souls?
Yeah, we don't need to.
You know,
and
what
even
would be
if
great?
you say that this is an inelegant way of what they're trying to say, which it probably is, that what they mean is like, it's going to be a focus on quality and higher level, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, all right. But you also use that it's a kid's show excuse. So fucking pick one.
How about the Netflix's Avatar reboot aims to please Avatar fans?
No, because they always need to change it. And as he goes, I've used the term that this is a remix, not a cover, and that you've got to hit a lot of familiar notes, but you can't forget that this is supposed to be a new song. And to which I point out, it's like, yeah, remix, but use the same. You're throwing out like whole chunks of the song. You got to you got to use all the notes if you're going to remix it. And they've also, we didn't cover, but they also, because it was like, how many of these can I do? But they said they're going to tone down Aang's. Essentially, they're toning down everyone's personality. Sokka's going to be less sexist. Aang's going to be less, because they don't think they have the talent to directly translate it, which a lot of opinion pieces have come out now. One saying that they were essentially screwed no matter what they do. But another one basically saying, nah, that dude's an idiot. They just don't have the skill. And I'm more inclined to believe that.
I heard they were saying that was all filler. And I disagree, but I understand what they're saying.
Big disagree, yeah.
Like, if you're going to go to Kyoshi Island, why aren't you going to show any of the reason that they went there? They only went there because he went to go ride the elephant koi.
They have pointed out a couple of different scenarios in which it won't make sense if you take out the sexist part of why certain people will or won't do something.
Which, again, he was only really sexist for the first, 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Right, but so it begs the thing, if they've taken out his, will they do that to the other characters, water,
Probably
tribe, masters, other things like that? Yeah, right.
Azula's going to be nice as shit.
Oh, I wanted her to be my toxic little whatever. Never mind. I digress. Yeah, Azula, everyone better be toxic AF in the Fire Tribe. That's all I care about until some beautiful resolution that
except
Zuko
Uncle.
and Azula fight at the very end of the series when they have their little Agni Kai together. It's good. It's good. Something else that's good. And this is, of course, the story of the first shot, let's say. And that was Gina Carano. Don't worry, I won't boomer myself and click on my messages like I did on Nerd Rage if you were watching. Gina Carano is
I did
suing.
catch that.
Yeah, it was fine. Good thing I don't say anything privately that I wouldn't say in person. She is suing Disney with the help of Elon Musk, which everyone's saying she doesn't have a case. Well, clearly Elon Musk and his lawyers think she is.
Of all people, who would have seen him coming in to help her out?
I guess if we're really paying attention and you really believe what he's saying, he truly believes that the woke mind virus, as he puts it, is in fact a threat, both real and existential, to the entire planet. And he's a humanist. And it really comes down to, and he said this with Alex Jones, of all people, when they were talking, you're either down with the global homo, as Nerd Wars says, you're down with the global homogenization, and the WF, who makes no bones about the fact that they would like our population to be a nice, manageable 500 million. How they're going to do that and get rid of the 7 billion, I don't exactly know, and I don't think you want to know. But the other version of that is the Elons, is the humanist rather. They'd say populate, start having kids. If you haven't noticed, Elon has like 12 of them. So the fact that he bought Twitter,
no more for you, Pool. No more for you.
You can afford it. Have what you want if you can afford it, and that man can afford it. And the fact that he put his money where his mouth is and bought the Twix, both left and right. Of course, then he found those closets full of T-shirts and all the woke things. And had this been around in 2020, we might be looking at a very different political landscape. But the point is, this is a whole corrupted vector that is no longer there for them to use.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed how that woke agenda spread to every corner of the world, it was through Twitter. That's how they were able to reach. If you want to know why everyone is pro one side and not another right now and certain things going on, that's because of TikTok. They allow the spread of some real interesting agendas to go where they would not go before. But that has also led to a bunch of evidence of all the horrible shit people have said to Gina, which that and what has to be on those Disney emails, rather, I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is going to be very interesting.
And so here's the part, though. To my surprise, a few months ago, I received an email from a lawyer who had been hired by X. So, and it says she's been giving them everything. So there has to be something. And it's not just people screen grabbing horrible things. That right there is a first chink in the armor, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be very careful who you're talking about when you say that one.
Well, nobody's listening anyway at this point. Except for one. Wait.
One or two at least. Who
Creativity's Vanguard was shut down.
He is guardian of creation.
And he is back. His first video was up today.
Yeah, I gotta check. I'm sorry, bro. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'll get better at it, bro. I'm sorry. You changed your language 4 times, and I got to tell you, I'm not sure if this is the best one you chose, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure you can get all the subs back. We'll have you on Nerd Rage, and it'll all be fine. It'll be fine. You know what else I think might be fine, but probably not. But there's a lot of green flags, so I can't really talk shit. No, you shut your mouth.
Oh my God. I hope these are all fucking stunt suits, man.
They got to do the lighting here. Yeah, you can do the lighting.
That and that damn bullseye looks trash. They have to be stunt suits.
It looks a trash. Yeah, and he's got the full-on beard. They added the booties. I do believe this is supposed to be say Bullseye assassinating not Karen and Foggy, but someone that Matt was representing. Yeah, I think that's the suit, bro. So
that looks like Marvel Knights suit.
Does it? Hey, are you trying to flex that you know the comics? Because I'll have you know that that's something that they don't want you to do. That you would not be hired for any of the shows showing that you know the comics. They actively tell them not to do it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I know. You would think you would think that wouldn't make sense, but they actively tell them don't know the source material. Could you guess what the reason is that they say that?
The checklist.
Yeah. Well, they say it's so that they can tell new stories, new and interesting stories. And I say that's a bunch of bullshit, and they do it so that they can't have anyone that knows what they're talking about, which is essentially what happened to Henry Cavill. Man went around reading the book on set, basically, and like literally pointing out where they were doing it wrong.
And they said, "Get the hell out of here."
Remember, they said, bro. Remember when they said he spent all his time playing toxic video games and in his trailer and
toxic.
Speaking of toxic. How to Train Your Dragon? Do you like How to Train Your Dragon? Because I actually really like it. The first one,
the first one, the second one, yeah. And then I didn't care for the other ones.
Everyone's seen all of them, and I don't really remember the second and third
there's
one.
A show.
And I made clear that I have not watched any of the spinoffs, so that's fine. We're really just talking about the first
1
movie
and 2?
here. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, they're redoing it, and a lot of the thing is good, including Gerard Butler replaying Stoic. The iffy stuff is, I mean, look at this blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Scandinavian Viking. Yes, it's a fictional Viking in a fictional world where there's dragons.
So it shouldn't matter.
Don't they look the same? Look at that. It's just a direct translation.
It's got to be the hair.
She's very popular. Of course, she was in Last of Us, which I'm still not watching, even though I believe you watched it, Rat.
Yeah, I watched it. You know what? I also watched the entire first season that was all dumped on Amazon at one shot like Echo. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, or Mrs. and Mr. Smith, as I prefer to call it.
Don't you get I'm going to borrow a nerd rate. Don't you get out of your cage on that yet. You save that for the end. But that is, again, more things that they probably should have just called something else, which I'm assuming is
that's what I'm going to call my channel.
Yeah. So the things that they should just call something else. This brought up a larger discussion of, did they really pick her to play Astrid because she was the best actress for the role? Or did they pick her to play Astrid because...
As a check mark?
Well, let's just guess and say that they had an inclusion standard, and in that inclusion standard, 3 out of the 5 main characters had to be, let's say 50% regular recurring character or a regular recurring. Oh, wait, they have an actual fucking standard that they have to follow. So
it's to make things easier.
Every single time you see an actor that is black and or from an underrepresented group, you can consult this list, and that is why they were high. Now, whether that's true or not is irrelevant, because if there was a list that said 2 out of 4 people had to be white, and you saw a white person in a movie, you would go, well, they didn't get hired because they were good for the role. They got hired because 2 out of every 4 people have to be white. That would be ridiculous and racist, and it is just so when it is here, as we can see in their little standards. Isn't this nice? This is, if nothing else, it's evidence. I'm loving the evidence of this. Pick a movie when you've wondered why they raised or didn't. They made the character, any redheaded character, with the exception of James Gunn's Superman Legacy, which to me, again, I was like, look at his casting. He's not following the inclusion standards.
Or Jimmy Olsen.
Poor every redhead. The redhead genocide is real. It's real. And it's been proven. I mean, I don't, the memes, it's like 30 plus at this point. This came out. A lot has come out actually after this, but someone sent this to Elon Musk. He's been blasting it to everyone. And this is, of course, the official inclusion standards for their on-screen representation, their creative leadership, their below the line, and then they're all the peons, essentially. That's how, and it's all, if you can, 50-50, basically. You want to know how they're going to enforce it? I'd like to know how they were going to enforce it.
Like we stated, how are you supposed to make anything good by hitting all your marks on this?
Well, and even Elon made that point. How the hell are you supposed to be creative when you have to follow all of these
shackles?
Unironic.
Shackles.
And also, this goes in conjunction with the stories we had just talked about from the Writers Guild, WGA, with Film Threat. How not only do they have the equivalent of these inclusion standards in the form of surveys that are highly suggestive that are filled out, but they're backway blacklist, basically. What do you call it? Be blacklisting. If you write a story, you're a white male, and you write a story about a gay black person or whatever, you can't pitch that story. You have to find a black person. They've literally.
What if you identify?
Go for, yeah, that again, those rules and tricks only work in one direction. We have white writers that have literally been told, yeah, I can't do this. Come back with someone to pitch. I mean, they're saying come back with a black person to pitch it, but they're basically saying go find a black guy to pretend that he wrote this, which I think is essentially what almost that American writer movie. What is it? It's American something with Jeffrey Wright that just came out where he's very talented. I want to say splendid or something, but he's a very talented writer, and he keeps writing that no one wants it. And as soon as he writes some cliche, tropey black victim thing, they all go for it and fawn over him. And I don't even think they realize that the movie is talking about them. So I mean to watch that with Jeffrey Wright because I do like him. Even though he's taken some questionable roles, he's pretty base. He's no David Allen Greer. He's no magical American Society.
Can't say it this month.
Do I get one? I get a few of them. Magical Americans. What is it? I've blocked it out.
You get
the American
you get
Society
one a
of
month.
Magical Negroes.
You get to say it once a month for every black woman you've ever slept with.
And of course, they picked the lightest skinned brother in the world to play the main character, which then, if they know what's going on, would go and bring up a larger question about black people are racist to themselves, where light skinned black people are made fun of by darker skinned black people as essentially being white and having it easier. That's a whole nother group that they'll never, subgroup like drama dynamic that they'll never talk about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It'll be fun when they do.
Especially like if they're mixed with another race too.
Oh yeah. Well, that gets into the whole, if you're white and half black, if the white and racist, they'll say, oh, you're Bob. But if you're black and racist, they'll say you're white. And it won't count. In your favor. They cancel each other out or something. So you're nothing. It's a very silly thing. And it all just breaks down into dumb tribalism. But at the end of the day, all of this inclusion thing, it's the same thing with the LGBTQA alphabet community pushing it so hard. That small vocal fringe psycho group, this is why like was it Gays Against Grooming, and they tag them all the time.
Gag?
They are ruining it for the rest. Like, this is ruining it for any actual underrepresented group, because now anytime anyone sees you, it's, oh, you're a diversity hire. And even if you're not, that will be the first thought in everyone's mind. Same thing with the LGBTQ. Now, instead of just trying to live your life, people go, groomer, you're coming after kids, even if you're not. So you, whichever of those groups you're a member of, need to check your homies, because otherwise we're going to do it for you. And I don't think you're going to like it. This is the beginning of everyone else doing it for you. So you better gatekeep your own communities, or we will do it for you. You will not like it then. Trust me, you will not. This needs to go away. I think it will go away. The fact that Elon Musk is blasting them out now, and again, now you can just call it out. Oh, there you go. 3 out of 5. Thank you. Not crazy. We can see it.
I'm a little crazy.
It feels good. Well, speaking of a little crazy, and I think you have to be a little crazy to do this one, but I believe him. I believe in Warhammer, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and I believe in Highlander. I've been hearing about this for over a year. Him and Chad Stahelski, it's the guy that's the John Wick director.
Yeah.
Also doing the Ghost of Tsushima movie, which I got to play. Thank you. You know who you are. Ghost of Tsushima, which is also the best Assassin's Creed game that's not an Assassin's Creed game. We've been hearing they're doing the Highlander, and they are. Henry talked about it. He is a Highlander fan. He has seen them all. He did one more step than I thought. He talked about the TV series, which I sort of disavow.
Oh, I remember that TV series too.
I am not a fan. No offense to the actor who played, and maybe it got better, but the couple, his accent was super weird. I couldn't figure out, like, I couldn't place him. And I'm not talking Christopher Lambert accent. It was just, anyway. He was a McLeod, but he wasn't. He was Duncan McLeod. He wasn't Connor. I was like, what the fuck? I passed. But the point is, Henry said they're going to do it. They're going to add some depth. They're going to swing. If this had been anyone else, I would have been worried. But he's basically like, we're going to do it. It's going to hit the same notes. It's a remix, but they're going to do something different. And it was basically like, you don't want to just do the same thing and it'd be like mid. You want to swing for the fences, and hopefully they like it. And the only thing I didn't know that I heard about is that Michael Fassbender is possibly going to be the Kurgan. The Clancy Brown character. Yeah. Which, I think it might have been Ryan from Ark. Someone said it, but they hoped that they switched, actually, that Henry would be better as the villain and Michael Fassbender would better as McLeod. And I don't want to agree with that, but I do actually sort of agree. Michael Fassbender could already do the fucking accent. And Henry is bigger and more intimidating than Michael Fassbender. And Kurgan is supposed to be big and intimidating, but maybe they're both talented actors. I think that Michael Fassbender would get his ass kicked by Henry Cavill. So that's why it's hard.
I just want to see that too.
The dynamic switch. Yeah. But it sounds like, and again, I have not seen John Wick 4, but he has not disappointed me with the other 3.
John Wick 4 is actually not bad, to be honest with you.
Are you sure? Because I got a little overwhelmed with the fourth one, or the third one.
Would disagree. That man hates that movie.
He hates. He's a man of passionate feelings, and on the ones he's actually seen, it ain't many.
Yeah, he hasn't watched Die Hard, so
yeah, step off.
Shame.
So many movies.
I had to, again, I almost left when he said the thing about
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
How you ain't seen half the damn movies? Yeah. That's all right. To his credit, he is correcting them.
True.
Now, before we go on, because we are approaching the end of the shows, we're going to go through a couple of them. We were just talking about those inclusion standards. Well, this is what I'm talking about. Now, Ben Urich was black in the Netflix series. That is now canon. She says she's playing, not she, but they say she's playing someone linked to the original series, and it's a journalist related. It's very highly likely she is simply playing the daughter of Ben Urich. My point is, though, what is the first thing you think of after seeing those inclusion standards? Oh, look, a BIPOC woman. She's only here because they have to fill 3 out of 5 spots.
And there's only white people on Daredevil.
Yeah. Now, that is true. That being said, this is not that. This is just good old fashioned. In Marvel, they only have daughters. They don't have sons anymore. So, of course, it is the daughter of Ben Urich, not the son of Ben Urich, because we couldn't have a masculine black man. We know how they feel about them. They're almost as bad as masculine white men. So you have to either feminize them or replace them with daughters, which is, what do you think that Blade movie is going to be? Oh, that's right. The Blade movie starring his daughter, set in the 1930s. Do you think they're going to deal with races? I digress. The point is, we just saw why they do this. Do you think this is working, all these inclusion? Have they been making bangers? What's the last great Marvel movie you've seen?
Endgame,
right? That was the last one, wasn't it?
Endgame, yeah.
Well, you know what's reflecting in this great long amount of shite that they've put out? It ain't working. So on top of being sued by 9,000 women across all of their lower brand hotels and resorts and things like that for pay disparity. On top of now Gina Carano and Elon Musk suing them for treating the women, because that is really what that lawsuit is about, is they treated her, a woman, because there's only 2 sexes, women and men, so they treated the women different than the men. She got fired supposedly for saying something politically incorrect. Meanwhile, Pedro called half of America Nazis and Confederate soldiers traitors and likened them all. So Disney has no problem with different standards, clearly. And the result of that is they have lost a shite load of subscribers and money. And even though they tried to make it seem like they're going to make money barely, it's all coming apart. And this is filled with cope. There's no way to make losing 1.3 million subscribers. I see this as an absolute win. We didn't like them anyway.
It's like you said, they were giving away subs.
Yeah.
You buy a phone, you get a thing. You do.
Oh, there was a Disney Plus. There was a Disney Plus. It came with the cup. I put in the code right there, and I got a full year.
Yep.
Yeah, I bought some donuts. They came with a full year of Disney Plus.
You shut your mouth.
Say donuts. You're being very incentive, bro.
I'll be all incentive all I want.
You know, the
I can't have Gary Ryan. Go to hell.
You didn't even explain why, because it was the sugar. It was the dairy-free donut. They make them.
I'll eat the damn sugar. I don't have the sugar foot.
You clip this and you put it on the Twit Twats and you tag Ryan. You explain to that man that you were talking about the dairy. This just goes on that, they dropped a bunch. It's not working. I'm making the prediction now that Disney Plus will just be rolled into, it'll be a little tab on the Hulu, because Hulu is the far more established platform with a far more legitimate subscriber base. When you want Disney Plus, you'll just go to Hulu.
It's all there anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just transfer it over, and it's really going to come down into a battle between Netflix, Max, and Hulu. Paramount Plus, Apple TV, Halo's not going to be the one. You better hope Yellowstone keeps going. You better hope that brings people back. I love Apple TV, but no one watches it. I gotta keep watching For All Mankind. I got like a couple more episodes. For All Mankind is great. Joel Kinnaman, all those. So Apple TV is great. Just no one watches the shit. Silo and all the other Severance and The point is, it ain't working, Disney. It ain't working. The only profitable movie they had was Guardians. And that was a holdover from Gunn.
Yeah.
Everything else lost money, like to the tune of over $1 billion. Ironically, I think it was like 1.3 billion. Yeah. And again, and that was what we talked about earlier on the stream today, is if everyone is wondering why we got so happy for Gina, we're not going to see any of that money. It's because Gina is us. She is a representation of us. The same thing that happened to her happened to us. We have been called toxic and sexist and homophobic and racist and transphobic and all the fucking is and isms ever since we said we didn't like Ray. because she used forced Jedi mind trick and she shouldn't have known how. And she beat Kylo in a lightsaber duel and she shouldn't have done. Ever since that happened. So Gina being labeled like that and the lie perpetuated. And now finally the collective world going.
I say, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And calling them on their bullshit and now having some repercussions for the lies that have been told around this table. I'm getting a lot of joy out of it because I'm feeling like I'm getting retribution. Gentlemen, what do you think?
No, I agree, dude. It's like, no, simple as that, dude. You say everything I would have too. So yeah,
I was thinking that is why they pay me the big bucks because I speak for the people.
What,
similar
you
to
get
how
paid?
No.
I get rewarded. Yeah. I get paid with good feelings.
You know how when a sports team wins and fans are shouting, "We won, we did it, you didn't do shit."
It is a collective
we. This is different.
And also, Gina's really sweet, and you hate to see nice people be treated like shit, which I think is just what happens in this mixer pot of a world. But sometimes we get the good things, and this right here. My friend, my great Deadpoolio of all the pools is Henry Cavill doing Warhammer, which let me tell you something on this channel. We know F all about Warhammer, but the Deadpoolio here knows about Warhammer, and he will be our consultant going through all Warhammer
you have to throw
things.
In 40K because there's
40K,
two different
that's
Warhammers.
Right. We are specifically talking about Warhammer 40K. I'm sure Henry, let's see what Henry has to say. We'll talk about it real quick, and then we got to get the hell out of here. Helps if I unmute it because I'm a professional.
I mean, there's nothing more close to your heart than this. I know this.
That is true.
There are a few other things.
Well, yes.
I mean,
yeah.
Cal,
professionally speaking.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I have a heart outside of work.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
But it must be so exciting to be able to actually like dive into this world and be the one of the ones that is just steering this ship and figuring out what the world you want to create is on film and TV. What's this experience been like so far?
It is the greatest privilege of my professional career to have this opportunity. I can't say too much again. It's early days still, but to have this opportunity to bring it to the screen and be at the tiller so it can be faithful.
Every time he said so much in that little head nod,
that side eye.
So it could be faithful.
Hold on, let me go get my
because go fuck yourself. Which I love it. The man is a class act.
Is key to me, and it's,
I know he's an actor. I really believed him when he said that.
Oh no,
and there is no greater reason than I joined the industry than doing something like this, and I'm very happy to be here.
I love you.
Try to get Matthew into Warhammer.
Yeah, that's about all he said. I think it's great that let me see. Oh, good. We do it like that. Yeah, I think it's great that first of all you could tell his sincerity, but a lot of people, why'd you get into this? It's like the real answer is like, oh, I'm a narcissistic motherfucker and I just want to be famous or I want people to
love it.
Bro wanted to play Warhammer and make Warhammer. Like,
yeah.
Bro,
now he gets to make Warhammer.
Cavill's been playing the game since he was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So
he's one of the only when he went into Witcher and first time I heard his voice, I was like, he's doing the Doug Cockle Witcher voice. He said he is. He's if anyone has because we used to think what is nerd cred? Kevin Smith used to have nerd cred. And now we realize that was all fake. But like Henry is an actual nerd. He builds computers. He plays the games. He famously missed his casting call that he got Superman from Snyder because he was in a World of Warcraft raid.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Highlander. I am excited for Warhammer 40K. I'm excited to have you back on the show to cover those. I was excited to have you on this show because we are now at the end of it. Before we go to Mr. TechRat, great Deadpoolio, great one. Yes. Thank you so much. Do you have anything to say to the audience before we sign off?
Yes. Well, again, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure, and hopefully I can be on for other ones besides the 40K aspect of it. But
yes.
But I want to say when we first heard like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we're like, oh my gosh, all the endless stories we can get because of the media that we have, the comics and everything like that. And now it is what it is now. The glory with Warhammer is that there's so much. And the best part, they can make something new with it and still tie in with the original lore. And the best thing, too, about Warhammer, there is no good guys.
I was thinking as you were saying that, I said, it seems almost impossible to wokeify it.
Oh, hell
You
no,
would have
dude.
to change it so drastically that it would not even resemble. Everything about it is based and toxic and problematic to them.
I'll give you a hand, like a quick. You have the Imperium.
Good.
Xenos, xenophobic. You have the Eldari, xenophobic. You have the Tau, secretly xenophobic. And then you have the Orcs that just want to fight everybody. Then you have the Necrons, xenophobic, which after this I'll tell you a little bit more about the Necrons. And then you have the Drakari is pretty much evil space elves that are into BDSM and xenophobic.
I think.
Sorry, my brother. I went deep. I went too deep.
We
40K after hours.
Lore will be a coming, and we will be doing it. Mr. TechRat, as we leave, that was beautiful. Deadpoolio, Mr. TechRat, as we leave now, do you have anything to say to the beautiful audience? Whoever is still left.
Yeah, I guess. So I'm the one who deals and has a little fun with all of the shorts we put out on Instagram and on YouTube. I've been having fun with video editing and adding a little spice here and there with my retarded humor.
It's much appreciated.
So in that vein, we've decided to mess around with different videos where we poke at, for instance, Highlander. You got Highlander. You got a series that ran like 6 seasons, and now you've got a remake. How many remakes is too many? For instance,
they won't stop till all of them.
My jab at this theory for the week is, again, I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is almost nothing like the movie, so take that into consideration if you go to watch it. But favorite movie of mine, which is totally mid, 13 Ghosts.
Oh.
Okay, 2001 film.
Now, yeah, I love that movie.
Oh, they're going to remake it.
Not too many people know that that's a remake from 1960 film with the same title.
Yes.
They're remaking something old that wasn't done right.
Now, here's my issue. They are now making a TV series by the same name.
Yeah.
Where 13 episodes, each episode. Are they going to ruin it, man?
Yeah. They're going to remake everything because
that ain't no woman.
We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
But also, they will probably do this.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
That'll be the main character.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have hit it. This is it. Thank you. Episode 8, joined by Mr. TechRat, Great Deadpoolio. Thank you, everyone. We will see you for the 9th episode next Friday, where God knows what will happen between now and then. The Gina Carano stuff, the Shane Gillis, who knows? In the meantime,
well, bye.